And I trust that just about everybody, if not everybody, already knows Representative Eissler. He is the current representative for District 15, obviously running for re-election. And we'll ask him to come at this time. And Mr. Eissler, you have up to about 4 minutes to tell us and convince us that you're the right person. And then we'll go into the question and answer mode.
Which will change everybody's opinion after that. Well, thank you. Often I'm not sure how long 4 minutes is, but thank you for inviting me, and thank you for doing what you do. This is good because people get a chance to, test their beliefs, and it's a good crucible. And I know many of you have been involved for quite some time. A little bit about me. Where does Rob Eissler come from? I'm the son of a car dealer, a car salesman, and that taught me a lot. Number one, I didn't see a lot of my dad, and he was working. So that instilled that work ethic, that sense of personal responsibility, because he was missing a lot. And I understood that. In fact, even today, I talk to him probably more than I did when I was younger, just because he was working. And then my mom and he were divorced, and I guess that was part of it. But we went off to New Jersey from where we were. I haven't really told this story before, but and then when I was 16, my mother wanted to move again, and I was a junior in high school, and I had everything lined up I wanted to go to Princeton. And she said, well, we found a house, come on down. I said, for my senior year, I'm not coming. So I've been on my own since the age of 16. She gave me 24 hours to find a place to live, and I did. So I guess I learned to be a salesman, I guess, after my dad. But, you go through life and you think some of the worst things that happen to you can turn out to be the best. And that was. There were a lot of lessons there. And I was at Princeton in the late 60s, early 70s. Probably the worst time to be in college, because that's when the entire Bill Clinton administration was in college. And they were leading those protests. And I never did see what was good about that. And then I got a draft number of 10. And I thought, well, to give you an example, 42 of us put $1 in. Whoever had the worst number would win the money. I came in second. Okay? So I didn't get the money. But it was interesting because I saw the school news, 2 minutes to finish. Are you serious? Okay, real fast. Became a Navy pilot because I wanted to make the best of the situation I was in. And the important thing was, today, we'll do everything for our troops. Not back then. You couldn't wear your uniform in public. Okay, so I guess, what was it? I was a Navy pilot when it wasn't cool, but I always thought it was cool. I was an LSO and an attack pilot, and I was very proud to serve. And it's only since the early 90s that this country has turned around, or at least obviously supporting people. But what I basically learned is the history of this country, and these kinds of opportunities is what we're built on. If you look at the founding fathers, what they said, and I know Adrian, we've talked about it, but it was based on individual liberty, personal responsibility, free enterprise, faith, and service. And quickly, I have been in the service in this community probably for 30 years. Everything from chairman of the Chamber of Commerce to Rotary Club, school board 18 years. This is my 8th year in the legislature. I'm the first Republican committee chairman from Montgomery County in Texas history. And I have been for the last 2 sessions, and we just passed a school accountability bill for the first time and the first state in the union to focus on college readiness as an accountability. And we put financial efficiency in it, where school districts are ranked on it. And that could take my 4 minutes by itself, and I'm finished with that. I'm sorry.
That was
a
4
fair-
minutes is fast, wait till you see how fast 20 minutes goes. Who would like to have a question? Down to the first.
You had said that your top 3 priorities is, one is public education, the second one's redistricting, and the third one's water. Could you explain
Ooh, look at that, thank you.
why those are all three, why all 3 of those are your top priorities, and what do you mean by that, and how do you think you're going to fix it?
You know, it just hit me now, what those 3 things have in common. You think about it, there's one word that those 3 issues have in common. Actually, 2. Our future. Our future, okay? Public education, obviously. I've been involved with it. I feel like I was the beneficiary of a good one. I went to public high school and Princeton University. In fact, Andy Napolitano and I worked the food line together in college, and Sam Alito was in my class. Now, of course, I knew Andy, but I didn't know Sam because, you know, Sam was very intelligent. So I think he hung around with a different crowd. But if we don't get our public education right, we don't have a chance. I mean, if you just look at our world competition right now, India and China, just as an example. You take their top 10%, that's probably our top 50%, okay? And we cannot go along with the way schools have been operated. Technology, for example.
So how do you propose to change it?
Well, I'm glad you asked that.
I'm just going to help guide you, because I know you have 3 minutes left.
Well, there's a limit on the answer too?
There's limits on
On a
everything.
total time frame.
We only
Okay.
have
You can either get
Yeah,
one
I'm sorry.
one answer in or 30
Okay,
answers
real
in,
fast.
it's up to you.
What I've learned is schools will do anything for their accountability rating. I mean, you've heard it. You've heard about the tax test and how they give other grades off, they close the school, they teach to the test, they narrow the curriculum, they ditch the kids that aren't gonna pass, okay? They do that. Not all of them, of course, but, I mean, that's been done. So, if we change the focus of our schools and we know they're gonna work hard at it, and we look at college readiness, that's where 86% of the jobs require some kind of college. And that's what the economy is, and at our current rate on dropouts, for example, we lead the U.S. in adults without a high school diploma, okay? And we'll, I think by 2040 that'll be the case. And so we have to stop our dropout rate. And